Okay, I welcome you to the preview of the English Premier League match day 35, played on the 30th of April until 2nd of May 2022. We'll have a look at the games to be played this weekend. It is closing in the season. We are still excited about a couple of decisions about to come, and still we know it is getting more and more difficult to beat the market, because the motivation is a crucial factor which becomes more and more important with the season closing in, especially referring to the sides that achieved or missed their season goals already. Others that are about to, or still with a lot to play for or everything to play for, those will definitely have the 100% determination, or whatever it is, stamina, the decisiveness, I don't know. They try to win with all their might. And others may be happy or unhappy. They failed or they achieved what they wanted. They failed to, or they achieved already what they wanted to. So this makes us to be necessarily a lot more careful than we should be in earlier stages. We'll have a look at it with the assistance of the Betmaster Tool that you can try out yourself, and you will receive huge benefits as soon as you decide to do so. You are also invited to like my channel, to subscribe to my channel, whatever it is absolutely free. To give me some support if you like what you see here. And in case you have any questions about this Betmaster Tool, you're welcome either to check out my page, which is also intended to be, and partly it is already, in English language, but where you find lots of videos as well explaining things around the Betmaster, the history, how to verify, and all those things around it. And as soon as you subscribe to this tool, you will have the opportunity to compile the prices yourself. You need to gather some experience, which you will find within a short period of time, given you really mean it, that you want to start winning. And of course, assisted in case you have any questions. And as soon as you know the big benefits, the biggest of all is that you do not need anyone giving you advices about or any bets or so, because you can produce the value bets to make you winning yourself. You will start to identify with what you're doing with time going by and with this gathered experience. And so anyway, we will check it out the common way, whereby I have to confess that this statistical based method is an extra feature that I implemented already in my old software, whereby it is not yet implemented into this new software. It brings a new feature, a new level, brings this tool even to a higher level, but it also adds some degree of complexity to it. So, but if you're looking forward to it, and if you want to subscribe today, you will, I can at least assure you, it is going to be there, I hope, for the start of the next season. This calculation here, those are the goal expectancies that we can compare with the exported goal expectancies from the Betmaster Tool, which is usually pretty close to each other, but sometimes there are bigger differences. And then at least we compare the goal expectancies, and everything here is based on goals within the tool at least, which means all the goals that teams are, well, the strength of the teams are measured in those goals they expect to score and they expect to concede. You just need a mathematical basis, including the home factor or the home advantage that simply exists, to compile, to compare these two values and apply the proper formula to work out those total goals expected. And after a while, you can of course compare all the goals you expected for this side, for that side, for the whole league, for the home sites and so on. And then you get verified that it's doing an excellent job. So how close you come, you can determine or check out. So anyway, we have the game of Newcastle playing Liverpool. Newcastle absolutely safe with an excellent, after the restart, starting January, when they upgraded their team and also upgraded their budget by some miles. And 149, the true price on Liverpool. We have as much as 142, which slightly even surprises me, because Liverpool got something more to play for, and here it would even say somewhat better chances, so we're coming pretty close to this true price. You have to understand, but most of you, of course, you will already, that we have a value bet in case this probability is in a good relationship to the price, which means that the price you get at market should be higher than the true price. This true price is the reciprocal of the probability. Here, this is the total of the three reciprocals of these. So it's always 100%, those prices, whereby market does not compare the prices to 100%. Anyway, 149, 142 we get, which is quite a, I mean, almost a good price we could bet on. And if you think about the game, you might even say, although you know very well that Newcastle are on a very good run, and they might, of course, they are not giving the game away freely, but Liverpool with an even better run with the title at stake. Aston Villa taking on Norwich. Here we have the first one in which nothing to play for sure, not for Norwich, be it Aston Villa, but we have also 141, so we have no indication here, so we would skip this one, but it's one of the likes that we would rather forget about. And we have, of course, we see a 160, 141, so computer would still then consider to go with Norwich, who will definitely not give this game freely to Aston Villa, but still, who would like to go with Norwich, even with not a real indication. In Southampton Crystal Palace, we have a true price of 261, and here even somewhat better chances to you compare the difference. The statistical based method, which I may not have mentioned, is largely based on the stats the teams played at. So this is more taking into account the shots they take, the dangerous attacks they have, the attacks, the corners, the possession, passes, and so on. So it's taking all these values into account. But if you see here, it's coming close to those values, so you can pretty much rely on the formulas. It's like a shifting gear in the car. Even if you do not know how it works, you will still use it. And of course, for those who are deeply trying to get into it, I may even explain the formulas here or there to make it even more reliable for you. But that's also kind of a secret. But it is mathematically absolutely sound, and those who are interested could even try and work it out themselves. I've done so myself too, being a mathematician. That's at least where I come from. Watford Burnley, no, Southampton, we didn't compare it yet. 236, 340, 3.06, looks like no bet there. 236, 340, it would maybe consider a draw. Here we know as well with, no, this is not Southampton, this is the 340 here. It would say maybe think about a draw. Well, what they need draws for. We can also, within the tool, even here compare whether or not it's a league that is into draws, or we can check it with a, here within the, we go straight into the match. and we see they have 13 draws instead of 8.75 I expected. They have 14 draws instead of 9 that I expected. So this is a very, very drawish kind of game, whereby the table situation might not at all make it attractive for either side. So then we would skip it. To compare here whether or not the league itself is drawish, we can compare here the draws expected. We have 26% expected and only 23.57 occurred. So this would not confirm any draw indication anyway. Watford against Burnley, we have slight edge to Burnley, which makes a lot of sense. Burnley are on the rim, on the edge of relegation, but may be able to avoid it, while Watford are left with no hopes. I would figure 22 points. Well, if there are 5 wins, yeah, okay, there is still a chance. You may not be able to see it here, but check it out. Like this, 22 points, 29 to Everton, who have a game in hand, and 31 for Burnley. So it's 9 points to safety, 9 points for Watford, which makes it a real uphill battle. And 265, I don't think we have a bet there or any kind of indication. Well, if any, then it would be on Burnley, which we would happily forget about. I mean, not because it's so bad, but here it says even smaller edge, and also 260 is not a real indication. 274, well. I mean, and the statistical based method says not so much of an edge. Or yeah, 274 would be around the true price by this statistical based method. We don't really need it, but for those who like it, maybe they have a fair chance to still give it a go. It's not a terrible bet. Watford are completely out of shape and they are lost, most likely. But maybe he is still, for the very last time, hanging in. Well, they will for sure, but they are no good, if I may say so. Wolverhampton computer would suggest a draw. 274 could even be a bet on the home side and not the draw, or this 1x is a silly bet somehow at the moment. Here it says less of an edge, but very even game. Well, who would wish to get involved there? I mean, I more or less agree with market. The indication would be somewhere maybe here, but who wants a draw on this one? No one needs it. It's not a bet, just as simple as that. Don't, well, still, the game can still end in a draw, which would not prove anything. I would rather stay away. Leeds against Manchester City, 131 on Manchester City. It's even an indication, and we compare it here, and here it says more or less the same probability. So this 131, a little bit of a surprise to me that we can, but sometimes there is a chance we go with the favorites. We could even consider Liverpool, by the way, as I mentioned, because 142 we are coming close, and Liverpool got even more to play for. Everton Chelsea, 169 on Chelsea. Sounds, no, it's not enough, but Everton really in an, I guess. But here we see it is even a bet, and here we would get it confirmed. I mean, Everton are so awful. Why would I say that? Because it's all of them are good sides, but they are far away even from this very much lowered evaluation of them. You can check out the settings that I have. 0.71 is the quotient of the expected goals for and against, and here's the one they played at 34 divided by 55. Anyway, but also their stats are miserable, and Chelsea, what are they playing for? Well, trying to make sure they stay or they get into the Champions League once again. So it makes it a marginal bet, but just for the sake of having some, but also to show you sometimes you can even go with a favorite. The standard routines would be that usually market overrates a bit the favorites, so we would rather spy out for the dog to bet on. But of course we don't mind in case there are mistakes done by market. But of course I'm not excited about Chelsea, and I know that Everton playing against the relegation maybe even set free some more energy. I don't know, it may also be paralyzing. Anyway, I click it here because there is an indication, although I do not like, to be honest, Chelsea so much. In the Tottenham Leicester we get confirmed, whereby we here would see that the statistical method would even maybe go with Leicester, but we also understand that Tottenham are in there for the big kill, the big all-time rivals Arsenal, to kick out of the Champions League, which also sets free maybe some more power, and it also is of course a lot more to play for than Leicester do. So we would happily skip this one and not go for Leicester. West Ham Arsenal looks like a fairly decent price here at first glimpse on Arsenal. But most likely Tool would not like it, I don't know. And we see even here that the new one says no choice, you have to go with West Ham. We know that they fully, so I was absolutely wrong, but I thought West Ham are out of shape, and Arsenal did beat Manchester United, actually an improving effort there, and West Ham actually dropping out of any European starting place with still some chance to kick out even Manchester United and so on. And here it would tell us maybe also the home record or things like that could tip the scale here. But of course I know that it couldn't be worse. Okay, they just lost 1-0 at Chelsea, 1-1 against Burnley, no good. 2-0 loss at Brentford, no good. They beat the big ones, Manchester United and Chelsea, with 7 goals scored, but before that they were in a terrible state with 3 losses in a row. Well, it happens, it's a very strong league, but which is what happened right now to West Ham. We're also busy in the Europa League. Yeah. In fact, I would have to give West Ham this chance because I can't go over all my settings, and somehow I have to rely on this. It doesn't sound like a good one, but given all the facts, yeah, the business in midweek and so on, it's a couple of more points to consider. But yeah, in this case, I simply have to trust this tool and those calculations. Anyway, we check out the last one, Manchester United against Brentford. Here it says 160. What would market think about it? Well, Brentford are considered to be good. Manchester United are not so well respected at the moment. So I don't know. We will see what market thinks, because I'm trying not to check it beforehand. We see here we get a 174, but we check out if this tool likes it as well, which it doesn't at all. So here it was, so this would stop me from making a bet on Manchester United, which maybe you would still, if you have the settings that I have within the tool, which are more based on the results, but Manchester United's results are also no good or not amazing for sure, and no one really likes them. We can compare it here. I only played at 1.04, well, expected them to be 132. We see here that Brentford even played a bit better than expected. So we have all reason to cancel this one, which you would also have even if you had my settings, because you see the space you have within this evaluation. At the moment they are set to 132, which still means Manchester United tool keeping some respect, if you want so. but the current results do not confirm that they are this good, which also the stats would confirm. So no bet there. So all we got now are these three bets, which are more or less, well, Manchester City, no one can really complain if the tool even likes Manchester City. Chelsea, of course, no one can complain if it's going with the heavy favorites, but we know that Everton are fighting for their lives. And West Ham, of course, we can easily complain with everything that I said to, but the price is simply, in the eyes of the tool, is simply too high or too little what you need to pay on Arsenal in this case. So thanks a lot for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.